This morning, I and my colleague at work, we were reading some international news media that reported about this CSU saga, about the certificate forgery of Bola Tinubu. And he was asking me, how are we as a nation going to get out of this international embarrassment? How are we going to get rid of this? Because many people will be laughing at Nigeria as a nation, because this is somebody that's supposed to be number one citizen of the country, the president, commander-in-chief, coming out to see that it has been proven that this man forged his certificate that he presented to the INEC. So this question is very important. As a nation, how are we going to get rid of these things? How are we going to make sure that when you come out as a Nigerian, or when you bring out your green passport, other nations will not see you as a fraudster or identity thief, according to what P2B said yesterday? So for me, I think at this point, the Supreme Court of Nigeria has a lot of duty to save the image of the country. You know, there is what they call a partition issue. There is what they call a national agenda. I think this Bola Tinubu issue is no longer a partition issue. So if you are from APC, I want you to see this issue as a Nigerian and not as a member of All Progressive Congress. Now, let me bring your attention to what happened. That was in 2011, if I'm not mistaken. The administration of His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, they petitioned Federal High Court Abuja that Bola Tinubu forged his certificate that he used to run for the office of the governor of Lagos State. And they waited for Tinubu to step down to finish all his administration as governor so that there will not be any immune covering him before they fight that petition. You know what happened? Because Goodluck Jonathan was going for second term, something happened. That is why I don't trust Nigerian politicians. What Goodluck did was so bad. Goodluck now went to Lagos and talked with Tinubu. Look at, you are going to prison. This is what you have done. But you will work for me. If you can deliver this Southwest for me, nobody will remember this certificate saga, will forget about this issue. What happened? Why is it that Goodluck Jonathan administration withdrew these court findings? Nobody knows what happened. The court did not judge it again. Everything just quenched. What really happened was during the election, Goodluck Jonathan won almost the whole Southwest apart from Ekiti. So maybe that was the bargain, that the agreement he had with Bola Tinubu, that if you work for me, nobody will remember about this. As far as I'm the president, I will cover you, I will do this and that. So during the election, Bola Tinubu, his own election, now bring out this certificate again. For God's sake, you don't need this BSc to become president of Nigeria. Our country is so poor, is so down to the extent that even though you have only primary six, you can even become president of Nigeria. That is so bad, but that is what it says. So what people are asking, is it that Bola Tinubu don't even have primary school, secondary school certificate that is making him to always bring out the CSU controversial certificate? What is the reason behind him presenting this certificate all the time to the electoral body? But it is obvious. So many people who are supposed to talk are not talking. I thought somebody like FFK would come out and start defending Tinubu. Reno Mokri has tried everything he could to defend Tinubu, but he's seeing that all these things is getting out of hand. After all, his own master Atiku Abubakar knew about all these things when he was vice president of Obasanjo. So they knew about everything that transpired. Even the Chicago State University now is under investigation. So this is not just a national issue, it is an international issue. And I think that every Nigerian should not treat this thing with the view of the political party or the tribe you came from. This is so bad. So the question remains, how are we going to get out of this issue that is happening? What are we going to do as a nation? Let us put politics aside. If we really want Nigeria to work, yes, we've made mistakes in the past as a nation, but I think what we should do now is to encourage Bola Tinubu to honorably resign. You see, when the Supreme Court sacks you, it's going to be very dangerous because they will try you and you are going to go to prison. If you resign honorable amidst these controversial issues, I think people will also hail you that yes, because of all these controversial issues, you resign. That is to say, you value the nation, you value the country, and you value her people. But this situation, I know somebody like this Delta State minister, I'm talking about Festus Kayamo, they are doing everything to make sure they defend Tinubu. But unfortunately, there are some things that you can't defend. It's not everything that you should defend. It's not because you don't have basis. What are you going to defend? That he did not forge his certificate. If he did not forge his certificate, how did he enter into the CSU? When he don't have mathematics and English from the secondary school he said he graduated from, quoting the date that the school has not been formed. The controversy is too much. Even the school he said he got the GCE, that he did not have mathematics and English. The school has not been formed during that period of time. So the issue is this: even the GCE or SSCE is also fake, because the said school has not been formed during the time he said he finished the secondary school. So the result now is not even able to get somebody into CSU and graduate somebody from CSU. Now, there is a deposition in the court that the CSU told the court that this Bola Tinubu don't have mathematics and English, and these are the basic requirements for you to graduate from the CSU. So this Bola Tinubu was asked to go back and write the English to make sure he passed the English language. He did not return back to write the exam. Then how come people are saying he graduated from the CSU? See, if you are just using your common sense, you will realize that all these things are just manipulation. The truth is, this certificate is fake. After all, the registrar of the CSU said it in court that the certificate Bola Tinubu presented to the INEC, we cannot authenticate it. It is simple as that. So there are so many people who don't want Nigeria to survive. These are the people who are so tied to the tribal issues, sentiment, and political affiliations. We should bring our nation to the first. We should make issues that concern our country to be the first, instead of bringing out our tribal issues and so on and so forth. So I think this is very important. Every news media, including BBC, so many of them are reporting that #1 citizen of Nigeria forged result. See, if you don't feel what I'm feeling, I want you to think twice. We are talking about a nation. Think twice, because if you think this has nothing to do with me, this will not affect me. If it doesn't affect you, it could affect somebody you know. So many people who are working as a nurse in the UK now, they are telling them to go and take another exam because they don't trust Nigerian certificate. They are losing that confidence that if a president of a country could do this, survive, and what others are going to do. What about the ordinary citizens? Meaning all of them are forging this certificate. So this is a very controversial issue, and I think the Supreme Court is going to do the right thing. Disqualify Tinubu. There is no need to say that this evidence is... See, let's forget about technicalities. Supreme Court should emulate what the US did. Look at how Atiku filed his petition, and just few weeks, everything went through. And even when Bola Tinubu filed another appeal, they did not accept it. Everything was just quashed. So we are hopeful that the Supreme Court is going to do the right thing and save us from this shit. Yes, and let the world see that yes, Nigeria have judiciary, that government is working, that things are still working in Nigeria, that the news that have been hovering over the places that their president formed certificate, that the judiciary has disqualified him. That will also be a good thing for the nation. Thank you so much for having time to listen.